MLB season. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to an episode of the Between the Bases podcast. My name's Noke. His name's Mo. You know the deal. Today, we're doing the good, the bad, and the ugly from the MLB season. I'll start with my good. Let's start off with the top two teams in the AL East, the Tampa Bay Rays and the Baltimore Orioles. The top two teams in the AL. The Baltimore Orioles looked pretty sharp this year. The Rays looked sharp this year. It's a shame that the Rays, if they win, they play the Orioles because they don't. The Orioles don't deserve to be playing the second best team in the AL. They should be playing the Rangers. MLB seating's rigged, messed up. We'll talk about that on a different date. But I do love what I saw from the top two teams in the AL this year, and we'll talk about later the bottom two teams in the AL. What are your thoughts on the Rays and the Orioles this year?
I think the Rays coming out of April and May, really how they played in those 2 months. This season, the expectations were to have one of the greatest records of all time, and they simply did not deliver that. I know injuries happened. And also with the Rays, in the playoffs, they're not built for the playoffs. They're a regular season team, kind of like the early 2000 Billy Bean A's. Like, they're not built for the postseason. They're built to win a lot of regular season games. They're not going to – I don't see the Rays winning World Series really any time with the kind of team that they have. It's nothing on them. It's just their team's not built to win playoff games. It's just how it is. You think about the teams that made it nowadays. It's not always the teams that are the best in the regular season. Like, excluding the Astros, the Phillies, Nationals, Braves, they weren't great in the regular season. Still made it to the World Series. Like, even sometimes best teams don't go there. I think the Orioles, though, they do have some real hope to go all the way and just stack from top to bottom. Amazing team. Really no holes with them.
What's your good from the 2023 MLB season?
Whole MLB or just the Yankees?
Whole MLB.
I'm just going to say something with the Yankees. Garrett Cole had a lot of hate coming into this year about how he pitched previously in his first 3 years of his 9-year, $324 million deal with the Yankees. A lot of people are saying it's not an ace anymore, and he came out, and he's going to win the Cy Young, so
First in his career.
Good for me. First in his career, even though he deserved the 2019. What about you? What's the good of this season for you?
Yeah, and it's a shame the Yankees wasted a Cy Young season this year and an MVP season last year from Judge. But Garrett Cole, he pitched really well, and to close out the season the other night, he pitched solid. 9 innings, no runs. The strikeout numbers weren't there. But I'll go with my bad from the 2023 season, and it also has to do with the New York Yankees. The bottom two teams in the AL East. The reason they don't get ugly, they're not put in the ugly category, is because the Yankees finished over 500. The Red Sox grinded until the last 3 weeks of the season. But the two of the highest payrolls in baseball, supposed to be the top two teams in the AL East, they underperformed this year.
No. The Red Sox were not supposed to be a top 2 team in the AL East. They were supposed to finish last. The Yankees are supposed to finish first. You cannot say about the Red Sox, but continue.
Well, that's all I had to say. It's been a bad season for both the Yankees fan base and the Red Sox fan base. Both not used to losing.
The bad for me this year has to be Jazz Chisholm. I went to the show cover, a lot of hype, couldn't stay healthy. He has the talent, we all know that, just hasn't been able to stay healthy this year and previous years. So that's the bad for me.
It's a shame because the Marlins team this year has been really, really, really overperformed. They overperformed more. Most people did not expect them to be in a playoff spot come September 29th, 2023. So we're here, Marlins fans. They're disappointed at the Mets right now. That's a whole totally different topic, but I'll get into it right now. Basically, if you haven't been paying attention, the weather in New York right now is horrible, and the Mets, they forgot to put the tarp on the field when they went on a road trip this past weekend, so they came back, and the game got rained out on Tuesday night. And then last night, in the top of the 9th inning, the Marlins were rallying. They were down 1-0, scored 2 runs. Right now, there's a runner on first and second. The game is suspended. The Marlins are annoyed. Skip Schumacher, the Marlins manager, came out of the dugout and picked up the tarp and was like, we got to play this game. There's no way we're not playing this game. The game will be resumed on Monday if it is important. And for my ugly from the 2023 MLB season, 3 teams. Probably the 3 most underperforming teams in baseball this year. The Mets, the Padres, and the Cardinals.
So hold up. I'm sorry.
The Mets?
What?
A lot of people.
No. The Yankees are the top 3 underperforming team. I know you use them as your badge. You can't use them for your ugly, but they were supposed to be much better than the Cardinals. I know the Cardinals are much worse than the Yankees, but they are top under.
Okay, and the Cardinals finished 20 games under 500. The Yankees finished over 500. The Yankees did
Okay,
not. The Yankees had a bad season in terms of Yankees terms of seasons. In terms of the MLB, they had a
no,
pretty solid. They
no,
had a
no, no.
solid season.
Small market
Didn't have a
teams.
bad
No,
season.
no. Small market teams. What they want. Okay, they want to make the playoffs, not a
I
win
wouldn't say
World
the
Series.
Cardinals are small
The
market.
Yankees go for World Series, not playoff berths. And no team goes to finish 82 and whatever they're gonna finish. Like that's just not what any team goes for. Teams go for at the very least playoff berths unless they're tanking. There's no team that wants to finish mediocrely like the Yankees did this year. That is the worst possible thing you could do. The Cardinals, they're gonna get a good draft pick. The Yankees are gonna have a mid draft pick. They're a mid team. There's like no direction for them. They have terrible rookies. Except Jason Dominguez. Sorry,
It's the
Anthony
draft.
Davis.
It's the
Haven't been
draft
good.
lottery. It's the
Haven't been
draft
good.
lottery, buddy. It's the draft lottery. The Yankees could
I
end up
don't.
getting a better pick. It's a
It's not
draft
gonna
lottery.
happen. That's not how it works. They've such a low percentage. Unless
Okay, on to the
besides
other
the
ugly
NBA, they're
teams
not
that I
just gonna
chose.
rig it and
The
give the
Mets
Yankees a
and
good
the
pick.
Padres. The Mets and the Padres were ugly. A lot of people expected both these teams to win the World Series. The Mets had one of the best rotations coming in of all time. They had Scherzer and Verlander. They're gone. They were traded to AL West teams in the midst of a rivalry right now between the Rangers and Astros. They're gone. Ship you later. There you go. And the Padres, they got Xander Bogaerts. A lot of hype this year. 4 guys were supposed to lead this team: Soto, Machado, Bogaerts, Tatis, and they've all of them have underperformed this year. The only overperformer this year, I think, for the Padres has been he's going to win an NL Cy Young, Blake Snell.
Yeah, Blake Snell's been
But yeah, who's your ugly?
my ugly. That's a tough one. I know. I don't know if this really counts as ugly, but it's not really one player. It's Luis Ariza's second half.
I would have went the Dodger Stadium wall.
Dodger Stadium wall. Oh, that's a good one too. Luis Ariza's second half. First half, he was hitting around almost at 400, around like 380, 390. He was hovering around there the whole time. And I was up to like down to 340. Like, that's ugly. There's no other way to put it. I used to be able to make these tweets that was like, oh, Ben Wertvet's OPS 390, Luis Ariza's batting average 380, race to 400. And like, that was funny. And then Luis Ariza is now just like,
The guy.
he's hitting like 340. I know Ben Wertvet's OPS is down too, but what are we saying? Race to 350? Nobody cares.
Honorable mentions. Honorable mentions for today's segment. For the ugly, the Dodger Stadium wall, for obvious reasons, taking care of Aaron Judge's season. We got robbed. 37 homers in 107 games, 108 games, something like that.
He's been 104 so far, so 3 more to go.
Another ugly mention, Oakland Athletics, because had an ugly year. They got perfect game.
The Rockies finished with the worst record though, right?
Yes, but the political statement that the A's fans had this year, the ownership, the stadium, the team, the perfect game. It's all
their
comes down
wine
to
bottle. Their wine bottle for Miggy.
Okay, can we just talk?
I want an honorable mention. Wait, can I get an honorable mention for good? Shout out Lil DOC's a rapper on the rise. He's been great this year. Rapping about MLB. He looks big Harrison Bader fan, but yeah, no, you're gonna say.
Can we just? We weren't supposed to talk about this, but can we talk about Miguel Cabrera leaving his legacy on the game? Probably the greatest hitter of this generation. Probably leaving. I mean, not probably. He is leaving. His last 3 games in the MLB. Sayonara, buddy. And Adam Wainwright's leaving. Terry Francona's leaving. Growing up as a baseball fan, and just watching the late years of Miguel Cabrera. But what'd you take away from watching him?
I never saw his prime. He he's kind of like Giancarlo Stanton without power at this point in his career. So I didn't really take anything for myself. I just saw that he can't hit anymore, but that makes sense because he's 40.
What I took away from him, just watching him, it felt like you're watching a totally different generation of baseball. This generation is going to be highlighted by the home runs that were hit. Miguel Cabrera, yes, he hit 503 homers, but the way he put balls in play, he would take balls oppo. If the pitch was off the plate, you'd go oppo. If it was in, he would pull the ball. He didn't really pull the ball that much. And he watches batting practice. The way he hits the ball in batting practice, and you mirror it to see how he hits the ball during the actual games, he's one of the best hitters of all time and definitely the best player of this generation. And that's a wrap on today's episode.
Wait.
Oh, you have something else to say?
What if you watch Miguel Cabrera's batting?
What? And that's a wrap on today's episode of Between the Bases podcast. Remember to like and subscribe. These videos are hard to